us today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Louisville repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers. From bumper pole utility, for Element Fleet and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1950, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top today with easy access to by 80 and 150.
Moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Up baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family Mondays, and more. It's a home game. You can forget planning an event. Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing, the whole enjoy. Unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club or space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita club? The Upside Bar and Lounge, the best club in town. 10 flavors of margarita, like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday night at 7 p.m. for Lincoln Southeast versus Lincoln East. Both the Knights and the Spartans look to bounce back after dropping their season openers in week 1. And you can hear all the action unfold with Jay breaking it down alongside me better than anybody else. Kickoff is slated for 7 p.m. from Seacrest Field, but pregame starts at 6:40 p.m. It's high school football and Friday Night Lights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys want the happy?
Coming to you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll go for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know like to come down time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh, and an onside kick. Northwestern is on it. 45, Scott Frost going for the mortal blow in this game, and now Northwestern has a short field.
Unfortunately for Nebraska, it becomes yet again another in a long line of disappointing one-possession losses.
Northwestern did it again today in an upset in another country. 31-28, the Wildcats stun Nebraska.
Touchdown! Amari Jones finds the soft spot, and Georgia Southern launches down the field to the ball. Trace up the cut. He's got space. Did he get there? He did. Please, let's Georgia Southern with a late touchdown. Check this out. It is no good. He pulled it. And Georgia Southern comes in Lincoln and stuns Nebraska.
We got beat today. I think we got schemed. It didn't really have an answer.
Nebraska firing Scott Frost.
So remember, originally, this wasn't just a full run hire. This was a World Series Game 7 walk-off home run type hire. What does Nebraska need to do next?
I guess the least mean thing I could say now that this is decided, at no point in that time could you ask me what the identity of Nebraska football was and me confidently have an answer for you.
Scott and I talked about this very clearly. 16 and 31 was acceptable to us. So I met with Scott at 11 o'clock and informed him. I communicated to Mickey that Mickey's the head coach. I won't meddle in Mickey's decision-making process. I encourage Mickey to be the head coach and make decisions as the head coach.
Thompson. For a touchdown for Nebraska. Indiana opened the year at 3-0, a loss last week to Cincinnati, and now a loss to Nebraska. They're 3-2. It's the Hawkeye season. Padilla, clean pocket. Padilla, intercepted. Ball game over. Picked off by Chris Colorman.
And so it is now my distinct privilege and honor to get to introduce the 31st head coach of the University of Nebraska's football program, Mr. Matt Rule.
I'm here today because as I talked to Trev, the passion for football was reborn inside me. You know what? This is a place that's committed to greatness. You're never going to hear me talk about starting fast. I started fast last year. We're up 10-0. The game to me is about played the whole game to get to the fourth quarter and try to win it in the fourth. We want to be the best team at the end. We're not going to fair catch any kickoff returns. We don't believe in it, but the game is meant to be played.
Lines up, goes deep, got a man, touchdown! Big Red, Trey Palmer ran a great route, and Casey Thompson put the biscuit in the deep shot towards the end zone. That's Palmer. Touchdown, Nebraska. There's Palmer. Deep shot, and wide open is Palmer. Palmer in Nebraska. Touchdown, Huskers. Looking to throw, points it down, pick up and pull down at the 30-yard line. Breaking free is Volkeland. Volkeland to the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska.
To the backfield. One steps through another, and Urban for the touchdown.
It's
This in for a touchdown. And there is that 6'4", 220 frame of Salmons for the touchdown.
Welcome in. It's been a long off season, but we have officially arrived at game day. We've been jumping up and down for the last minute and a half or so. My legs are kind of sore. It's the most work I've had to do. Whew. Appreciate you guys tuning in. It is the happy hour. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick, Rico, and you guys. Congratulations. We have made it through a long, a painful, a grueling off-season, or I should say ever since September 11th of last year. And we have finally made it to game day. Hello, Rico.
Hello. I hope you all sat through that entire 5.5 minutes.
It wasn't all 5 minutes, but you know, we made it pretty close.
You guys sat through that. I hope you enjoyed it. Nick worked very hard on that.
Thank you.
And
there was a lot of sadness in that first half.
And you know what? I don't regret a single thing. We need to go through the entire last season. That's what these audio clips are for. We go through the entire last season of what happened leading up until this season. And that's what we did, ending with a Jeff Sims touchdown.
I'm not going to lie. I was putting this together, and I realized a lot's happened
in a year
since last September.
Not even a whole year. What?
Not even a whole year.
Yeah.
A lot has happened regarding Nebraska football in the last year.
Since Kyle Van Treese ripped our hearts out.
That's true. Kyle Van Treese. I forgot.
There was an onside kick in Ireland. There was a Kyle Van Treese sighting in Lincoln.
I forgot that Nebraska had a chance to tie against Georgia Southern as well in that game and just completely hooked the field goal.
Yeah, I blocked that one out.
And the best part about that probably entire thing is the Scott Frost clip of just saying, yeah, we got out schemed by Georgia Southern.
We got
beat us today.
They just beat us.
So here we are, August 31st. We have made it to game day. Happy game day, folks. 402-464-5685. We invite you to tune into the conversation on the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. we want to know your guys' predictions all day and all show long. We're going to have a little over an hour here with you guys. We will have our weekend picks because since there are some games today, so we'll have weekend picks today with
it's only two good ones.
with us two and Austin and Strick coming up at around 1:45 or so. So we'll have our normal weekend picks with the weekend pick music. And then we're just going to kind of break down what we expect to have happen tonight. We're going to talk about what Nebraska needs to do, what Minnesota is probably going to do, and we'll dive into all that and more. But we want you guys to be into the conversation at 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line. Both of those open for you guys, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, as well as Allo Channel 951. Unnamed texter chimed in during that whole montage and said, "What is this PTSD bleep? Today is supposed to be a happy day."
It is a happy day.
We're going to be live from Warhorse.
We are.
4 p.m. up until kickoff. We will be live for Nebraska, Minnesota. And a man named Ashley said, "It's the hype video I've asked for."
You're welcome. It
And
wasn't
here
a
you
video,
go.
but you're welcome.
Yep.
Eric was upset, said, "Why are you guys doing this to us?"
Well, Eric, you claim to not like us, but here we are.
This was for you, Eric.
Yeah, you're listening.
That was just for you, Eric.
Yeah. So there it is. A lot of Casey Thompson, Trey Palmer highlights that I realized from last year, but here we are.
That was
That's
the
kind of
offense.
unfortunately
That was the offense.
Unfortunately, where you're
I love how you snuck in a Gabe Irvin touchdown.
I had to. Gabe Irvin, running back one.
I would say I'm upset you didn't sneak in a Ramir Johnson touchdown, but he never snuck it into the end zone.
No, not last year. He saw a little time against Iowa, but nonetheless, it's gonna be a great afternoon and evening. And then Jay and I will have post-game show on the Jay Foreman post-game show coming up after the game, immediately after the game.
Oh, only one of you gets your name on the show?
That is right. Well, when you're a Husker Hall of Famer, that's what you get. And so
I thought that would be you then.
Absolutely not. We're going to talk a little volleyball day in Nebraska here in the second segment, just because it was an incredible atmosphere last night in Memorial Stadium. And now we're starting to get reports coming out of Minneapolis as well. So what we're going to do, once again, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. You guys are more than welcome to call in your predictions, text in your predictions, call in just your thoughts and opinions. And but first, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all along wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next. 3-7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You've worked hard all year, sweating, building, providing. Labor Day is your day. Schaefer's celebrates you this Labor Day. To show our appreciation, Schaefer's has lowered the prices on Maytag and KitchenAid appliances. Save on energy-efficient refrigerators or Maytag laundry pairs, and reward yourself with interest-free financing. Schaefer's, local and family-owned since 1946.
Acres, your John Deere dealers offering hot financing on all new compact tractors. For a limited time, get 0% interest for 84 months when you buy any new John Deere compact tractor. And with a variety of attachments, you'll make quick work of chores around your acreage. From mowing to Acres has a John Deere tractor to handle your toughest projects. Don't delay. Visit your local Acres store to take advantage of this great offer. Acres, solutions for every field. Offer expires September 30th, 2023. Subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dream reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. Big to the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. found in local grocery.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goal. Diverse inventory. We will tailor a blend just for you. We're all growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices and technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and Crawford.
Vershawn Jackson for Brant Excavating. Brant's business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brant is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brant Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to brantexcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brant Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go Big Brant!
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club, or space club, stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? No, forget that. How about a margarita? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best in town. 10 flavors of margarita like Maui Wow, burnt pineapple, and mango tang. Try all of your margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over. Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career for people with development disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
Him and tell me there's a God.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary. Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Happy Hour 7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Enrico with you guys as usual, 402-464-5685. Let's go straight to the Honda of Lincoln hotline here, where we're joined by Rick, who's been waiting patiently through the commercial break. Rick, thanks for being patient, man. What's on your mind today? Rick?
Hello?
Hello, Rick. How's it going, man?
Good. This is True Red.
Oh, True Red. Sorry, man. That's not what they wrote on the board. How's it going, True Red?
Man, it's been great. It's been a long off season, but you know what? It's time. It is Husker time. Let me tell you something. As far as last night went, I believe the Husker football team is going to carry that momentum on the big stage. I think the football players seen that yesterday. They're going to take it to the stage today. 27-24, Nebraska is going to win that game tonight. And let me tell you something, Minnesota. What's it going to do, brother, when Husker Mania runs wild on you?
There you go, True Red. Appreciate it as always, man. There he is. What's Minnesota going to do? What you going to do, brother? Go ahead, Rico.
No, I'm not going to
repeat it.
What you going to do, brother?
Thank you.
When Husker Mania
runs wild on you. There you go. Nebraska going up against Minnesota. 7 p.m. kickoff tonight. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt on the call. Two of my favorite.
Love it.
Especially Joel Klatt. But nonetheless, 402-464-5685, the Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. Mississippi Mud Dog gives a 28-24 prediction.
Man, y'all ain't
Nebraska wins.
Y'all ain't gonna be happy with me.
That's really?
Y'all ain't gonna be happy with me.
Unfortunately, we gotta wait an hour.
No, we're waiting to the pregame show. I'm not giving my score prediction now. We have a pregame show today.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got to get back in this mood of Husker football season.
There's a pregame show tonight.
Yeah, that's right. This afternoon. We forget that it's a Thursday and that it's game day.
It's
feels
throwing
like
me
Saturday.
out. Like
last night,
we
felt
are
a
like
Friday.
just like trying to like carry everything over. It's like, oh, like great volleyball match, and now it's football again.
Yes. Yeah, which that volleyball, we can spend a couple minutes here, Rico. That volleyball match, man, was spectacular.
Otherworldly.
I mean, it was spectacular. I mean, I talked about it on the drive this morning a little bit. That match last night had so much energy, not only on the court, but also just from the students, from the standing room only tickets, from every single section. It was a ruckus atmosphere, and man, from what I've heard is that they portrayed it pretty well on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And so shout out to Connor Onion and Emily Eamon for that, and the entire Big Ten Network crew. But
so from where I was sitting, where I was sitting, that TV people were right in front of me, and one of the monitors had the TV broadcast on it. And every time they had a wide shot from wherever they had the cameras were and they had the court, you could see the crowd behind them.
Okay.
It was just an amazing shot.
And that was one of my favorite pictures. Two of my favorite pictures that I took last night. One was just John Cook just kind of by himself on the bench,
taking it in.
And then the other one was Laney Choboy, who was the six line at this point. And they're the only ones that you can really see in the picture. But then behind them, it's just a sea of red.
Mm-hmm.
And it was super cool because it's a once in a lifetime type of deal or event. Aaron asks if it was football loud. I thought it was louder.
So it's different for volleyball because there are portions and like football, when your team's on defense, like you're just yelling the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas for volleyball, there's like certain points where everybody's going to get loud.
Yeah.
But at those points, when they introduced Lexi, when there was a block, when there was an ace, when there was a massive kill, it got loud in there.
Yeah, it was really, really special. Just a really cool environment as well. And for a program that's very deserving of it, right? I mean, this program has, frankly, through the last, couple fall seasons, gave Nebraska fans something serious to cheer for that's nationally relevant. I mean, let's be honest there. So
they've carried the fall season for Nebraska.
100%, 1,000%. You're absolutely right. So very deserving program, very deserving head coach, very deserving roster of an event and a performance like that. They really did something special last night. And obviously the world record is a great thing, but just a place for everybody. When also at this time of the year, everybody's starving to get back into Memorial Stadium. And this year it worked out really well that Nebraska football is on the road for the first 2 weeks, which as a fan, you might not enjoy because around here, yes, it's going to be football season, but how much will it feel like football season on the weekends, especially in downtown? That's yet to be determined and yet to see. But this gave you a little bit of a taste of back in Memorial Stadium. It's the right time of the year. It's fall. And not only is Husker volleyball starting out 4-0 with good performances, but then also the next day you knew when you went home, it was just one more sleep until game day for Husker football.
I want to know if anybody was outside of Memorial, how loud did it sound? Because especially when Nebraska got a block and they would do the roof, roof, roof chant, it just echoed all throughout. Like you could just hear it because, I mean, it just, different sections doing it at different times. You could just hear it all around. It was like surround sound, and it was fantastic. And I wanted to know, how did it sound, outside of Memorial? Because you hear, the pop when Nebraska scores a touchdown when they're playing football at Memorial Stadium. So I just want to know what the sound was like outside for the volleyball match.
I also think part of the sound helped, elevate the sound and the level of it because you had people on the floor. You had obviously students, the bulk of them, if not all of them, were standing room on next to the floor and next to the media, and it was, I mean, right there. So it was a really great atmosphere, and we were thankful and excited to be a part of it. Rico, myself, DP, Amon, we were all in attendance last night. It was a great time.
And the people on the floor were super. You know, you have these people on Twitter trying to downplay the record, trying to downplay the volleyball match, and saying, "Oh, people are only there for a concert. People that go to this aren't interested or don't know much about volleyball." I can tell you that the people who were directly behind me, the fans that were directly behind me, very knowledgeable volleyball fans. They were calling all kinds of things and very impressed with a lot of things that Nebraska, and Omaha, UNK, and Wayne were doing. So they weren't all there for the concert or just to be there and be part of the world record. I'm sure that there were some people that wanted to be there just for that aspect, but everybody had a wonderful time cheering on all 4 teams and then getting to see Scotty McCreery at the end.
Bingo, which Scotty McCreery, not a bad performance by any means. So
I was there for like 3 songs before I convinced the kids to leave.
Yeah. Once again, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line, both open for you guys this entire show here. This entire hour, we're going to break down what we expect to happen tonight. And after doing a little bit of our own research, talking to people from the Minneapolis area, obviously being around the Nebraska program as well, looking up and down depth chart, what intrigues us, what concerns us, that and more, anything that you guys have on your mind as well, send it in. We'll get to as many, if not all of them, if possible. And so we'll do all that and kind of make it a people's show as we round out this final game day or this first day as it is game day. And to answer your question, Mississippi Mud Dog on the text line, yes, I will. But nonetheless, are we playing it again?
Stick around. The Open, the wonderful Open that Nick put together is coming back. Stick with us.
So if you missed it,
if you
want to get a little jazzed up,
a little sad and then a little jazzed up,
yeah,
stick with us through the Open. You're gonna love it.
Here we go.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM First, 93.7 The Ticket.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Price Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal carts come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
There's a buzz in the air at Kansas. Maybe it's the roar of fans here at the track or the anticipation of the playoffs as drivers fight to move on to the next round and keep their championship hopes alive. Maybe it's the pulse of the heartland, the thrill of speed, or the sounds of grills sizzling in the campgrounds. Whatever it is, it will be one memorable weekend. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If you are a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, Sunday Family Fun Days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Need service on your home air conditioner? No matter what brand you have, just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM-certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at KoppelCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at PremierDW.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh, and an onside kick. Northwestern is on it. At the 45, Scott Frost going for the mortal blow in this game, and now Northwestern has a short field.
Unfortunately for Nebraska, it becomes yet again another in a long line of disappointing one-possession losses.
Northwestern did it again today in an upset in another country. 31-28, the Wildcats stun Nebraska.
Trace, touchdown! Amari Jones finds the soft spot, and Georgia Southern marches down the field and puts 4 points on the board. And Trace up the cut. He's got space. Did he get there? He did. And Trace puts Georgia Southern with a late touchdown. No golden. And Georgia Southern comes into Lincoln and stuns Nebraska.
We got beat. I think schemed, didn't really have an answer.
Nebraska firing Scott Frost.
So remember, originally, this wasn't just a full run tire. This was a World Series games and walk-off home run tire. What does Nebraska need to do next?
I guess the least mean thing I can say now that this is decided, at no point in that time could you ask me what the identity of Nebraska football was. We confidently have an answer for you.
Scott and I talked about this very clearly. 16-31 obviously was not a level that was acceptable to us. So I got at 11 o'clock and informed him. I communicated to Mickey that Mickey's the head coach. I won't meddle in Mickey's taking process. I encouraged Mickey to be the head coach as the head coach.
Thompson.
for Nebraska. Indiana opened the year at 3-0, and a loss last week to Cincinnati. A loss to Nebraska. They're 3-2. It's the Hawkeye season. Padilla, clean. Padilla, second goal, picked off by Chris Coleman.
And so it is now my distinct privilege and honor to get to introduce the 31st head coach of the U.S. football program, Mr. Matt Rule.
I'm here today because I talked to Trev. Passion for football was reborn inside. We said, you know what, this is a place that's committed to greatness.
You're never going to hear me talk about starting fast. That's last year. We're up 10-0. The game to me is about played the whole game to get to the fourth quarter and try to win it. And not going to fair catch any kickoff returns, but the game was meant to be played.
Lines up. Ran a great route, and Casey Thompson put the biscuit in the basket. Thompson, deep shot towards the end zone. Let's go. Touchdown, Nebraska. There's Palmer. Deep shot, and wide open. It's Palmer. Palmer is strong. Nebraska, line, touchdown, Huskers. Looking to throw, hoists it down. Field is pulled in at the 30-yard line. Breaking free is Volleyball. Volleyball today. Touchdown, Nebraska.
The backfield. Steps through another end. Urban for the touchdown.
It's
Here he is. In for a touchdown. And there is that 6'4", 220 frame of Sims for the touchdown.
Welcome back into the happy hour 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico joining you as usual. 402-464-5685. The Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line are both open for you guys the entire show. If you did not hear that little montage earlier, well, there you go. There's your last chance to ever hear it.
Yep, it'll never happen again.
It'll never be played on these airwaves again. Maybe some of the highlights, who knows?
Kind of like our Oklahoma, Nebraska one that we put together.
Oh, man.
You remember that one's still in there.
The Nebraska-Oklahoma one was good.
That was a really good one.
The sad Scott Frost one was good, too.
We'll give a baseball one, too.
We do. We sure do.
We do.
I hope you guys liked that. Hope you enjoyed it.
We're good at making one-off opens.
Yeah. I mean, I really wish Nebraska was playing Oklahoma.
So we could play it again? We'd have to throw in some highlights from last time.
Maybe.
A little touchdown catch from Omar Manning.
That was in 2021. Dude,
throwing a low light of the interception, the one-handed interception.
Oh, man. Yeah, that game was fun to be a part of.
That was a roller coaster.
That was. They started with two pre-snap penalties, and so it was 1st and 20, and then Adrian Martinez, I think, ran for like 12 yards on first down, and then they passed it to either Omar or Xavier Betts, I can't remember, and got a first down. I was like, all right, perfect. They survived. We're good. But nonetheless, then Gabe Ervin blows out his knee, and but he's back. He's RB1 heading into tonight. So once again, the way we want to do this show on a Thursday, I'm going to say it multiple times that it is Friday because it feels like a Friday, but it is a Thursday. So bear with me if I mess up at all throughout the show. But what we want to do on this Thursday is kind of make it a show for you guys. What are your concerns? We address every single one of them. What are your thoughts going into tonight? What are your predictions? We will get to as many texts as possible, and we'll just go through the order. So basically, it's a Nebraska football text bag.
Pretty much.
Anything you want to discuss regarding Nebraska football, we will discuss on this show throughout a very long and grueling offseason.
And you know what? I could start us off. I can ask you the same question I asked Terrell to end the
Let's
Cassidy
do it.
show.
Let's do it. What you got?
Mr. Nick Sainert, who of the Huskers scores, and this is all of them, scores the first touchdown of the Matt Rule era?
I think it's Gabe Ervin.
That's what I said.
I think it's either Gabe Ervin or Anthony Grant.
You think it's a running back?
I think it's a running back.
Wow,
I think
just taking second string Andrew Johnson out of it.
I am because I would expect something to be inside the 10-yard line or so. And what would make more sense to me is that Gabe Ervin or Anthony Grant are one of the two running backs in there when you're inside the 15-yard line or inside the 10-yard line. Right? Because think about what's been so frustrating in years past is the personnel choices have just kind of been mind-boggling at times. To
Wan'Dale
where
Robinson running up the middle.
Yeah, it's been real mind-boggling. So I think really to get Matt Rule off on the right foot, just don't have us come out of this game asking any of those personnel questions of why in the world are we running a quarterback draw on 3rd and 7, or why in the world are we running shotgun from the 1-yard line, like things like that, right? Avoid all those questions, and I think you're already off on a positive foot more so than previous staffs.
Just playing complementary football. And I said this before on the Captain Show that one of the easiest things to say, but one of the hardest things that Nebraska's had to do is just play competent football, play mistake-free football, even less mistake-prone football. And you have a lot of these games that Nebraska has been in towards the end of the game, they end up losing.
Yeah.
If you just played competent football, you're in a lot more of those, and maybe you'll win some of those. So that's really it's the simple things that Nebraska had been struggling with. You get a new coaching staff, you get a couple new players, you mix all that together. Hopefully, it doesn't have to be anything flashy. I'm not asking for 45 points a game. I'm not asking you to have the best defense in the nation. I'm asking you to play football that I can watch and say, hey, this is some pretty nice football. You know what I was doing the other day? Me and Mark, don't know what happened. We were watching highlights.
Yeah.
Amir Abdullah highlights popped on. And we're watching him run the ball. And I'm sitting here like, it hasn't looked like this from a running back in a while. Like and you can tell, it just looks different. The way he runs, the holes he was running through, the blocks he was getting. It's been a while since we've seen that kind of Nebraska football.
I'm curious. Okay, so we both think running back is going to be.
I also chose Gabe
Right,
Ervin.
you chose Gabe Ervin.
Terrell chose. A lot of people chose Sims.
Okay. Which I could see maybe in a read option type of feel where Sims chooses to keep
a couple people chose some wide receivers.
Okay.
Didn't really imagine Kemp, IGC.
Yeah.
We had 2 people choose kickoff return.
Wow.
One said Emmett, one said Ramir.
I am okay. Sidebar.
Yep.
Fascinated and real excited to see Emmett Johnson.
100%.
Minnesota Player of the Year coming out of high school in his senior year out of Minnesota. Been a guy that even with previous staff and Brian Applewhite, the previous running backs coach, was a guy that Emmett Johnson was a guy that Applewhite was somewhat high on the entirety of last year. But frankly, at the running back position, Nebraska's had somewhat good depth. You have to remember last year they had both Jaquez Yant and A.J. Allen in the room as well, in addition to the 3 that you have now of Gabe Ervin, Anthony Grant, and Ramir Johnson.
They were kind of stacked in the running back room. A couple people said Fedoni, and then we had about 4 people go a completely different direction.
Defensive touchdown?
Pick sixes.
Yeah. Which, I mean, hey, if that's the case, that's great. I think it's interesting because you look at it this way. Speaking of the running backs, let's stay there for a moment because Nebraska is entering this time where I think a lot of people are forgetting that A.J. Allen was one of the better runners later towards the back end of the year, even more so at times than Anthony Grant was for Nebraska football last year. And I remember us having the conversations of, yeah, listen, A.J. Allen's that guy that maybe next year is fighting for that number 1 role where Anthony Grant maybe takes a back seat to him.
He was that number 2 guy to start the season, and before he got hurt, we were looking at it like, you know what, maybe
he just looked a little different, right? And there's that, you want to pass the eye test, whatever. But then it was almost like, all right, maybe A.J. Allen is staying here through the offseason.
It took a while.
Because he didn't enter the transfer portal and decide on Miami until later in the offseason. So a little bit before spring ball. So there was like this not emotional roller coaster necessarily, but just the curiosity of what Nebraska's running back room is going to look like. You knew you brought back a healthy Gabe Ervin finally. Ramir Johnson, maybe just a fresh start is going to give him an opportunity to play. Unlike last year, I suppose. And then you knew you had Anthony Grant, who led the team in rushing with 915 yards last year. So you come into this year, you kind of forget about the guys that maybe departed the program, and you sit here and go, all right, I feel pretty good about Nebraska's running back room. But what if one of them doesn't? What if we don't see one of them tonight?
I wouldn't be heartbroken.
What's the thoughts? What's the reaction if Anthony Grant doesn't play tonight?
It depends on how it looks. It depends on if Gabe or Ramir, if one of them has 100 yards, or if one of them has multiple touchdowns, or if both of them have a touchdown apiece. If both of them look good and you don't have to dig deeper into your running back depth, you don't have to go to a third running back, I don't think it's a problem. At least from a fan perspective. In terms of an Anthony Grant perspective, in terms of some other people's perspectives, maybe it is a problem because you want to see the guy who led you in rushing yards last season. You want to see the guy that put the team on his back this last season and was able to carry the load for the most part, at least earlier in the season. So if you're only going too deep at the running back position, both of them are healthy and both of them are productive, I don't see any problem with that. I don't think you need to go too deep into your depth chart at any position as long as things are working. Now, if we don't see Anthony Grant and Gabe Irvin and Ramir are both held under 50 yards rushing and there's no rushing touchdowns from either one of them, then that's a problem.
I'm interested into seeing, because I would not be shocked entirely. We know that the staff doesn't feel the most trustworthy with Anthony Grant, right?
You
and
can't,
we know
you can't have him dropping it.
You don't want that, right? You don't want Nebraska to give up. I mean, basically, let's say hypothetical situation here. You don't want to risk the potential of Minnesota going down and scoring, Nebraska coming back, fumbling, and then Minnesota going down and scoring, and in the blink of an eye, you're down 14-0 on the road in your first game. Now, I get it that Matt Rule has been preaching all offseason, we want to play our best football in the fourth quarter. I don't care if Minnesota goes out and returns the opening kickoff back for a score. All that can reign true, but at the end of the day, it would be much more beneficial for Nebraska if they found themselves in a position, even if they stall out on their first drive. Just let it run its course a little bit, right? You gotta get into a rhythm somehow, some way, whether that's on the ground, whether that's with Jeff Sims running and throwing, whatever it may be. Just run some plays, and most importantly, that's going to keep your defense off the field. We don't really know a whole lot about this defense other than maybe at a couple positions, the Luke Reimers, the Isaac Giffords, the Quentin Newsomes. But other than that, we don't know what kind of what spot conditioning wise this team is at. How long are they going to be able to handle the bumps and the bruises? Even though it is game one, how long are they going to be able to stay in there consistently and provide a good performance on the field? We have no idea of that. Well, I would be happy if we walked out of there and said, you know what, maybe Nebraska's defense wasn't truly tested on Thursday quite yet.
They had a rough offseason, so the bumps and the bruises are still, something that they're going to have to deal with. They had a really, really tough, really physical offseason that they were dealing with, trying to get themselves into shape for this. But like you said earlier, Rule said he wants to play his best football in the fourth quarter. That's all fine and dandy. But if you're playing your best football in the fourth quarter and you're down by 4 touchdowns and you scrounge together 2 touchdowns and you're looking great, but time runs out, that's cool. You played your best football in the fourth quarter. You still lost.
And then we're going to have the conversation of, they just need to carry over the fourth quarter to the first quarter in Boulder. It becomes an issue if it takes you 3 quarters or 3.5 quarters to get going on both offense and defense. Let's get to some of your texts because we do want to have this and plenty of interaction from you guys. Let's start with this one. Your prediction, longest kickoff return by a Husker tonight. I'm going to say that I think Ramir will probably get one. I think he'll probably take one a decent ways. Midfield, I think.
I was going to say 45 on their side.
Their own 45.
Yeah.
Like, you have to understand, probably Minnesota's probably pretty good at special teams. They usually keep things buttoned up pretty well. Now, what I would say, if we want to drink a little bit of the Kool-Aid, Husker fans, is that we haven't seen what a Nebraska special teams looks like, number one, under Ed Foley, and number two, with a lot of the starters out there. So who knows what can happen there. But I think the safe bet is maybe just to see that he might crack one to the 40 or 45 or 50-yard line, like we're saying.
If they get past midfield, I think that's a sign of amazing things to come this season.
Yeah. Well, and it provides a spark, right? You want to talk about providing a spark for your offense and taking a little bit of pressure off of them. Tell them that they only have to go 45 yards instead of 75, right? That's a huge thing. And frankly, from a Nebraska fan perspective, that lessens the chance of a penalty stalling out a drive, right? I mean, how many times has Nebraska maybe gotten a first down, then it's a pre-snap penalty, then it's I don't even know,
then
a holding penalty, and then you're right back where you started at the 27-yard line, and you're sitting there going, well, They got up to the 45 at one point, but now this drive's over. Well, if you get down to the opponent's 20-yard line and you have a holding penalty, you're still in field goal range. We know Tristan Alvano's leg. Who knows what's going to happen? But I think if Nebraska is able to get one around midfield, giving about 10 yards of leeway in between there, we'll see what happens there. Here we go. How about this? Horns down. We've gotten a couple of these. John and Cortland said it earlier. Horns down says it right now. Fullback gets the first touchdown.
Question, which fullback? Is it a pass? Is it a pass-catching fullback, or is it a big boy fullback?
If it's a pass-catching fullback, it's
Bonner.
Janier and Bonner. If it's a running fullback, it's Liebentritt, the Notre Dame transfer. So
I would be ecstatic with a fullback touchdown. It's nothing. A fullback touchdown is never anything fancy. It's never, you rarely see a fullback touchdown that's going to be, more than 10 yards. But it's still fun.
Andy Janovich.
Yeah.
I.e. Wisconsin against Wisconsin.
Rarely.
A couple years
You do
ago.
see it, but it's rare.
Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to dive in. We got probably 15, 20 texts that we got to get to. It'll be just somewhat of a rapid fire here in this second segment. We will have weekend picks with Austin. Strick is via remote today, so I don't know if he'll join for the crossover. I would doubt it. So we probably won't have Strick for weekend picks, but we'll have Austin, and us three will pick once again for the games Thursday through Sunday, as there's a couple games going on Sunday night as well. We'll take a break, get to your guys' text. We'll hit all of them, we promise, right here on the Happy Hour at 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Join Planet Fitness now and get the PF Black Card for only $24.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
And massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel fit-tacular. Only $24.99 a month. Our most popular membership, the PF Black Card, is your ticket to getting all the perks. Join today. See Club for details.
Lane's Cover Crop is your one-stop feed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Jay Foreman here. Join us on Thursday, August 31st for our pregame show for Nebraska against Minnesota at the Warhorse Casino in Southwest Lincoln. We'll go from 4 p.m. to kickoff at 7 p.m. with the whole ticket crew. Make sure to drop by and see us at the Warhorse Casino.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Priced Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal carts come with both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Need service on your home air conditioner? No matter what brand you have, just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Get ready for an unforgettable night at Ignite Lincoln 15. On September 14th, Rococo Theater will come alive with captivating stories from diverse voices that inspire change and spark connection. You'll hear from 12 passionate speakers, including our 5 nonprofit finalists, who are making a real impact. Be part of this remarkable event that celebrates the power of storytelling. Secure your spot now by purchasing tickets at ignitelincoln.org and join us in creating a brighter future together. Don't miss your chance to experience Ignite Lincoln 15, a night of inspiration, community, and possibility.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
A gorilla bear versus polar bear?
A what bear versus a what bear?
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
A gorilla bear versus a polar bear?
One more time.
Gorilla versus a polar bear?
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, somewhat of a rapid fire. Hit the text line. What do we got today? We got about 15 texts or so to get to, give or take probably a couple more that came in during the break. Let's just run through a couple of these. Unnamed texter says, still worried about the offensive line and the wide receiver depth. I would say that I am much more concerned regarding the wide receiver depth than the offensive line. I have a weird...
I did this before. Don't do it.
No. I have a weird feeling that the offensive line will be somewhat competent this year, especially on the interior positions, right? I think the two positions that we're most concerned about, and maybe this is why I feel like Nebraska will be able to generate some sort of traditional run game or inside run game, is because at the interior positions, whether it's a combination of Piper, Newely, Scott, or whether it's a combination of Litovsky, Scott, and Newely, whoever it may be, or even if at one time Turner Corcoran, whenever Teddy Prohaska is fully healthy and ready to start once again at that left tackle position, maybe whatever combination it is, I feel pretty good regarding those three guys in the interior. Now,
that's what I said.
With that being said, outside run game, not so much. I just wonder how well. I mean, this is something I'm watching somewhat tonight. Bryce Benhart, right? We know he leaned up, and we know he's gotten in much better shape. We visibly saw that when we were talking to him at pressers and when we saw him at practice. Now, how does that translate to the game setting is yet to be determined. So does Nebraska have a 1,000-yard rusher on their team? I think they have two guys. I think only one of them will go over 1,000 yards, if any of them do. But I think they have two guys that are capable of it. If Anthony Grant can clean up the fumbles, we saw last year that he's certainly capable of getting off to a hot start. And if he can just carry that in to the conference season, we're going to be okay. And as we mentioned before, I think a lot of last year, it was less about how Anthony Grant somewhat fell off, but more about how the offensive line just had to face off against better talent in the Big Ten towards the later stages of the year. I also think Gabe Ervin's a guy that can potentially go over 1,000 as well.
I'm not really sure how to feel about the offensive line, but I do feel better about the offensive line than I do the depth at wide receiver. I understand that there's a lot of talent at wide receiver, but in terms of guys that I can look at and say, yeah, this guy has some experience, and I think that they'll be able to do a good enough job to get things and go by the wayside, or not go by the wayside, but go along in whatever position. I feel better about the offensive line than that wide receiver room. And like you said, Ben Hart has leaned up. Corcoran's changed his body as well. But when you look at the bookends and you look at those tackles, they're the same two guys who are on a very bad offensive line. I agree with you.
And they were two of the bigger problems on the offensive line.
I agree with you. The interior I feel really good about. And I said it earlier today. I think Corcoran's a much better guard than he is a tackle. I don't know who he displaces, if he displaces somebody when Prohaska comes back. But hopefully, a different offensive scheme, another year with Raiola will have changed things for this offensive line, and they're able to get things going in the right direction. I feel really good about Ben Scott at center, and I'm really excited to see him and see. I'm excited to see, if it happens at all. I don't know how viable this is. A run up the middle, Scott passes whoever off onto a guard, and you get Scott, a fullback, and Gabe Irvin running down there. Scott goes block somebody, fullback. Lieben Tritt goes block somebody, and you got Gabe Irvin going one-on-one with the safety. If that happens, I consider me extremely giddy.
Another one, how do we get, this comes from Drumstick, how do we get pressure on Kaliak Manis, and what players can get a solid pass rush tonight? I don't know if you guys have watched the fourth episode of A Look In. I have been saying since, frankly, the beginning, since he signed with Nebraska, Cameron Lenhart is just a different type of a guy.
Doesn't look like a freshman.
He's not going to probably start. He's going to be lined up behind that, Blaze Gunnarsson, who, yes, earned a black shirt and is going to be out there, is also much bigger than I ever remembered him being.
That's okay. I'm glad that you said that, because I also didn't he come in as a linebacker, and wasn't he
was more of an outside guy?
Like, he was skinny.
Yes.
Like, he was like a speed guy. And now you look at Blaze Gunnarsson, and I got him and Ty Robinson mixed up. Not even looking at numbers, like just disregarding numbers, like just looking at him, I was like, oh, that's Ty Robinson. I go, that's not the right number.
Yeah, I just wonder how do we see both of them? I think I have a weird suspicion that a lot of people are going to be Cam Lenhart fans early on in the year.
That's a preseason freshman All Big Ten or freshman All American.
Cameron Lenhart, he was leading the huddles, and that's what, mind you, this was post handing out black shirts. He's getting on guys around him to pick their bleep up. And so I think part of that, if you kind of look into that stuff, or you want to read into that, Cam Lenhart's a guy. How do you generate pass rush? I think it's just figure out a way to, number one, you need to keep Kaliak Manis in the pocket. Kaliak Manis, a lot of people are saying that he can't run. That's not necessarily true. He can run when you're comparing him to other Minnesota quarterbacks. Nebraska fans also know it from last year when he
ran on Nebraska.
He brought Minnesota back. And I think just the basic things, just tackle. Make sure you actually, I hate saying the cliche, wrap up and tackle, but you got to figure out a way to avoid allowing 3-yard gains turn into 6-yard gains on first down. You cannot, you want to talk about killing drives, that kills a defensive stop if you on first down are allowing a run heavy team like Minnesota, which might be a little more of a passing offense today. But if you allow a team like Minnesota do what they want to do and you miss a tackle, or you allow a running back to drag you and 2 other guys for 3 more yards, and it's 2nd and 4 rather than 2nd and 8, then that, definitely hurts you guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Take advantage of everything that you can. Wrap up. If you're hitting somebody in the backfield, keep them back there. Don't hit somebody for a 2-yard loss. Let them bounce off and gain 2 yards.
So back to the text line here, 402-464-5685. We got touchdowns from Nate Borkacher. We also have another one that says, I think it's a tight end from 13 yards out. How about that? Guilt Nerd says Nebraska's going to win 13-8. He says, I think both teams will have trouble getting out of their own way for the first half. Huskers win on their final drive.
That's a weird score.
Anthony from Lincoln, who is heading to Minneapolis, says the fullback will score the first touchdown. Huskers will get to the goal line or close to it and then pound it in from the fullback. As long as we see an I formation from near the goal line, I think a lot of Husker fans would be happy.
I feel like you're going to get, if you get that close, I feel like you're going to get Sims before you get a fullback.
I don't know if you get that close. I think you honestly see somewhat of an I formation or some traditional set to where it's that's where I think it's a running back.
Okay.
As well. Let's see. Unnamed texter says, I'm concerned about false starts. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be growing pains. There is with Matt Rule's teams in year one and playing a lot of young guys. But I think what maybe you can take some sort of encouragement in or being cautiously optimistic about this. Offensive line isn't necessarily new. You have one new face in Ben Scott on that line, but he's played a lot of football. And you hope that the other guys around him have grown and through their experience in playing college football at Nebraska with their same teammates, you hope that they come back out. Nuri Nuili will be back after his year suspension. So we were just actually during the commercial break, Rico and I sent a video to our good bud Nuri wishing him luck. So we're excited to see Nuri back out there as well.
Hopefully he doesn't open it. He should be busy.
Yeah. Oh, he already replied. So he's back. Anyway, Augie asks, here's a big one. How confident are you if Jeff Sims gets hurt?
Don't do that, Augie.
Scale of 1 to 10. This is all we're going to say because we don't need to dive in. Everybody knows why. Scale of 1 to 10, Rico.
10 being the most confident, 1 being the least confident.
10 is I'm confident that the backup, whoever it is, whether it's Chubba, whether it's Heinrich, whether it's Jack Longville, I'm confident that they're able to run the offense.
Okay. I am confident that they're able to run the offense. Am I confident in the offense doing anything with them running it? Not 100%. I'm going to roll with a solid 4.
That's where I was going to go to. I wouldn't. It depends. I guess if Jeff Sims gets banged up, is Nebraska able to run the football?
Are they going 2 quarterbacks?
Yeah, potentially.
Because what did he say? Purdy's better at passing. Harburg's better at running.
And I wouldn't be surprised, even at times, whether I'm a fan of this or not, a package for Heinrich Harburg. I wouldn't be, but then again, you don't want to be one-dimensional when Heinrich does go out there. Mm-hmm. So that's why
he goes out there, everybody
I'm
knows
a little
what's going to happen.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, if
similar
the
to
play
like a
works,
Luke McCaffrey, though.
If the play works, then I don't mind being one-dimensional as long as you're going to gain yards or you're going to score or whatever with that play. I mean, what was it? Texas's 18-wheeler package. They bring in their big boy quarterback, and they're like, look, you know what's going to happen. I think the tight end comes in motion, chops his feet between the guard and the center. You know that's exactly where they're going to run, and nobody could stop it.
Yeah. Jesse says first touchdown will be Jeff Sims with 3-yard run with 4 minutes to go.
Getting exact
to cut Minnesota's lead to 24-7. I hope I'm wrong. Dang. What happened to Nick Henrich? We'll see. I think he's more of a game time decision. We'll find out 2 hours before. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
2 hours before. Let's see. Here we go. You can tell how much we've all been hurt recently. I'll say Nebraska 20. This comes from Aaron. 24-21 Nebraska. I hope our defense really steps up as our offense is trying to figure out. Craig says the Kool-Aid is flowing at the ticket today.
What are you talking about?
I feel like we're being pretty realistic here. Big Bird says it's also a great crowd killer. He's talking about special teams and kickoff returns here.
Mm-hmm.
Unnamed texter says I wouldn't mind seeing a fullback shatter a face mask tonight.
That's not happening.
Now
nobody runs that hard anymore.
Latex Mallard from MySpace says Grant goes for 1,100 yards this year, calling it now. I would agree from you, MySpace man, if you would have changed Grant's name to Irvin. I think Irvin's the number one, and I think over the last couple weeks, actually, in fact, it's widened on Gabe Irvin. Gabe Irvin being the number one back.
I think it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be hard to have more than one running back over 1,000 yards with Jeff Sims at quarterback. If you had a Casey Thompson at quarterback and you were dedicated to running the ball, I could see a running back at 1,100 and maybe another one getting close to 1,000. But with a quarterback that's also able to run the ball, I don't see how you're going to have multiple running backs over 1,000 or a running back that far over 1,000. I think if you get 1,000-yard back this season, it won't be a pretty close 1,000.
MySpace man says Gabe gets hurt in game 3 this year. Sorry, it's just our luck. Don't wish that upon him. That's my man Gabe Irvin.
What kind of evil are you on?
Yeah, come on, dude.
Latex Mallard.
Come on. I want to keep calling you MySpace man. I hope that's okay.
MySpace
I just got a
man.
text from Bud Steinhorst, President of Leva. He said, "Did you just call somebody MySpace man on the
Yes,
radio?"
Bud.
Darn right I did, Bud. Anyway, let's see where are we at here. I think this team has bought into Matt Rule, where last year the team was checked out on Scott Frost until Mickey Joseph took over. Let's see. Here we go.
Was it the same type of checked out that they were with Mike Riley?
Unnamed
Or is it just like, whatever?
unnamed texter says, hopefully for betting purposes, Jeff Skims scores a rushing touchdown. Hey, we always love a little prop bet.
I'm sure
on the side.
that's just for hopes and dreams.
Yeah, exactly. And as we're talking about this, let's do our weekend picks. Let's go ahead. We'll take a break. We're gonna play our music in a little bit. But let's get ready for our weekend picks. I can tell you a couple of the games we're gonna be picking. We got East Carolina at Michigan, which is the largest spread of the week.
Oh no!
And you can watch this one at 11 a.m. on Peacock. I think we might be okay. My space man. He said I'll be
your space man.
Hey! I appreciate the winky face as well on that text. We might even pick a Bucknell game. We'll see what happens.
Oh, Bucknell!
Maybe Mercer in there.
Up.
We'll see what happens. Colgate's
Sounds
also
like
playing on Saturday, so we'll see what happens here.
I love toothpaste.
Let's go ahead and bring in Austin here in just a few minutes. We'll be right back with weekend picks.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are on 93 Ticket and thetitfm.com.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Labor Day. They are thankful for every workforce great and celebrate a deserved day off to rest and reflect. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Established in 2015, is proud to serve the local area, which includes the tri-state area in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. H&H Roofing has a professional team that are licensed and bonded, GAF Master Certified Installers, and an insurance-preferred contractor that will work directly with your insurance company. Also a leading roofer, siding, and gutter specialist. H&H Roofing will service all residential, commercial, and agricultural needs. Go to HNHroofs.com for more information or call 402-359-2546.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. Sure. Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit
SCC's Career Days will provide you with a hands-on experience as you learn alongside SCC faculty and students and industry partners. Explore careers in healthcare, construction, ag, automotive, manufacturing, engineering, power sports, transportation, or technology. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador online at prg-ne.com. When you think of places with tons of great beer selections and amazing food menu in Omaha, the conversation should start and end with Bearschen Beer Garden in Benson. With more than 30 beers on tap, including several German options, you're sure to find something you like. And don't forget their Nashville hot chicken sandwich or any of their delicious hamburgers. Start off with the warm house-made pretzels and you're on to a great day at Bearschen Beer Garden in the heart of Benson in Omaha.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
Him and tell me there's a God.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
He made me in his own image.
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to final time here on the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick, Rico, and now Austin joining us. Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, guys. How we doing?
Good. I'm trying to dang it. I wanted an ugly game to pick.
Is there no ugly ones?
There is, and I wanted this one's going to be played at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas.
Okay.
It would be UNLV hosting Bryant, and I can't find a spread. I can't find a spread for Bryant and UNLV.
Probably for the best.
Probably for the best. Maybe I can find another one. Rico, do we by chance have the the Weekend Picks song uploaded? Here it comes. Welcome to the Weekend Picks. Once again.
This is great music.
Nick
This
is
is
giddy.
awesome.
Rico and I are pissed about last week.
Here we go. So here once again, just to update.
Nick's just like, heck yeah, man, we're doing great.
Weekend picks.
And me and Oscar's like, bullshit.
All right, so we're going to be picking 2, 4, 6 college football games here in week 1. I have made the side bet, and we are all good. Once again, these picks not for betting advice. Heavily not recommended for betting advice from us. We get these lines from ESPN. We are not betters. We do not claim to be.
You might be a better. Rico and I are worsers.
Yeah, exactly. So here we are. Once again, the records, just to update everybody. I went 7-2 in week. Rico went 7 and Austin went 3-6. All right, so we'll pick the Nebraska-Minnesota game last, gentlemen.
This is tradition.
Florida versus Utah gets us going tonight. That's the other big game going on this evening. 7 p.m. kickoff on ESPN. Utah at home is favored by 5. However, quarterback Cam Ryan is not playing.
Yep. Don't care.
Okay.
Utah, baby.
Utah?
Give me the Utes.
You said Utah by 5 is the spread?
Utah by 5.
And remember, Florida's starting quarterback.
Yeah, Graham
Mertz.
I do love me some Cam Rising. I don't like that he's missing a game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know enough about either one of these two teams to be confident, but I've been on the Utes bandwagon for a year and a half now, so why stop now?
Yeah. I'm going to go Utah as well. Now, we're not done with this one, gentlemen.
Oh, no.
We're going back. Okay.
As here is the side bets for the weekend. Graham Mertz over under 1.5 interceptions.
Ooh. I love Utah's defense. That's the reason why I always pick them. Graham Mertz. He's supposed to be a really good quarterback. He was a 5-star, wasn't he?
He was. If not a 5-star, he was a high 4.
I'm gonna go on. He throws 1.
Okay.
Need to find a Graham Mertz game log real quick.
Once again, I picked these out of thin air. You will probably not find this on any sports.
No.
You won't. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the listeners.
Okay, Graham Mertz threw 2 interceptions in a game, 2 times last year.
Okay.
Purdue and Illinois.
Man, this might not be a bad line, honestly.
No, it's a good line. 2021, he threw 2 interceptions in a game. Once he threw 4 against Notre Dame. Lest we forget.
Was that the game that was at a neutral site? That might have been the one where it was at Soldier Field, potentially.
He threw 3 interceptions in a game against Northwestern in 2020. And as a freshman in 2019,
He didn't throw any
a single
interceptions.
He's bad. I don't know if he's that bad. I'll take the under.
He's got 26 interceptions in 4 years.
About to have 28 after tonight. I'm taking the over.
Okay.
You guys are both taking over or under. I'm taking
This
over.
is hard because I love Utah's defense.
And I know we love to make fun of Graham Mertz.
Yeah.
Super lock it.
Super lock the under.
Give it to me. Yep.
Wow.
Okay. So I'm gonna specifically go super lock the under.
Give it to me.
Okay. All right. Austin's uses super lock. Here we go. Next one is not the largest spread of the weekend. It's actually the 3rd largest spread of the week.
That's ridiculous.
East Carolina versus Michigan. Michigan is a 36-point favorite. This one's at 11 a.m. on Peacock.
East Carolina. And
Now remember, Jim Harbaugh not coaching.
Yeah.
Here's the question for you guys. Is Michigan a good team or a great team?
Great.
Good teams win, great teams cover. Wolverines, baby.
All right.
What's the spread again?
36.
Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. What's that? 5? 4? 5.
5 what?
Touchdowns?
5 and change.
5 and change.
Oh, goodness gracious. That's a lot of touchdowns. Give me Michigan. Give me the Wolverines.
We're going to go back to the biggest spread of the week. We'll do that one second to last as well.
Just to sneak out without.
Here's the one.
Pick.
Sorry, I forget because I have mine already written
so
down.
So then we never know what he picked.
I already have mine written down, so I apologize. Toledo versus Illinois, a 9.5 point favorite. Are the Fighting Illini? This one's 2:30 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. I'll do mine first. Shout out to Daquan Finn, Toledo. Give me the super lock on Toledo to cover the 9.5. I think they actually win outright.
Well, we are going 2 completely different directions. Illinois super lock.
Oh my goodness, to cover the 9.5. He's going against my man Daquan Finn.
How dare he?
I know.
Rockets.
How
baby.
dare you go against Bert?
Well,
Bert Bielema.
Do you like the Rockets?
I like them Rockets.
Yes, you do.
It looks like I'm gonna get 2 points on this one. You are both
Toledo. All right. This is on Sunday night, I believe, 6:30 p.m. on ABC. LSU versus Florida State. Is LSU the 2.5 point favorite? I believe they are. Yes, LSU 2.5 point favorite.
LSU is missing their big D tackle or defensive
Mason
end, whatever.
Smith, yes.
Whatever. Florida State, I feel like they're going to be a really good team this year, but I like the Tigers.
Okay.
Never forget Florida State blocking an extra point to win that game last year.
In Brian Kelly's first game.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Jeff Colhane, radio voice for Florida State. Had a good call, interrupted by a Sean McDonough style voice crack. You go back and find the clip. It's awesome. Give me LSU.
Okay. I'm going to take the Tigers as well. LSU is one of my playoff teams, so I have to stick with them.
Go Tigers.
All right. In the biggest spread of the weekend, I had to dig deep to find this one. Number 1, Georgia hosts University of Tennessee Martin. The Bulldogs.
I like their logo.
Now, this one's at 5 p.m.
Georgia's
on Saturday.
or Tennessee Martins?
Tennessee Martins.
Okay.
It's like a bird.
You love the G.
It's like a bird with goggles.
The spread in this one, kickoff, first of all, 5 p.m. on Saturday on ESPN Plus. The spread is Georgia by 44.5. 4.5.
Why do we do this to ourselves?
Point spread. I'll tell you mine first. I'm taking UT Martin to cover.
I mean, that's the smart play. Because you would expect Georgia to let off the gas when they get up by 30-something.
Are we thinking like a 48-3 game? Is that kind of what?
Yeah.
What's the total? What's the total?
Oh, I had to dig deep on some way off site to find it because it was not on ESPN.
They're getting like 50-some. They're dropping a 50 burger.
They don't have all their running backs.
I'd be surprised.
They're breaking in a new quarterback
if they give up some touchdowns. I'd be surprised if they give up a touchdown.
Yeah, I'll Team Martin.
Nice. That's my man.
That's my man.
You know what? Just to be different, because we always got to have somebody different. Why not be me? Let's go Georgia.
Georgia. Okay.
I'm willing to let you super lock it twice.
No, I do not feel good about that one.
Sorry, not
all.
to take over your game.
No, you're fine.
I do not feel good about that one at
Hey, by the way,
all.
this is not a game. This is real life.
My bad. Sorry, I apologize.
Can I like unlock that? Like half a point. Like there's like I got like one leg in, one leg out. Like I'm just like
people are mad because we're not saying Graham Mertz's name right. It's Graham Mertz.
Yeah,
Steve, of course.
How dare we?
Sorry. Nebraska versus Minnesota. Minnesota is 7-point favorite, and the game kicks off at 7 p.m. tonight. I'm taking Nebraska to cover. We're not giving our predictions because we did that on a pregame show.
Right.
I'm taking Nebraska to cover.
Go for it, Rico.
Y'all ain't gonna like me. Minnesota.
All right.
Okay. I hate having to pick Nebraska games, especially over the last 5 years, because I can see the games going so many different directions.
Mm-hmm.
The likelihood that Nebraska blows Minnesota out is 0. The likelihood that Minnesota blows Nebraska out is 1 in 5.
Mm-hmm.
The odds that it's a 10-point game either way is probably that remaining 80%. Skurs cover.
All right, there you go. Nebraska. All right, so that'll do it for our weekend picks. Once again, it's just going through the super locks.
Mm-hmm.
Austin is super locking the under on Graham Mertz's interceptions of 1.5.
Have Mertzy. I'm a believer.
I am taking the over. Rico's just taking the under on that side bet. Elsewhere in the Toledo versus Illinois game, I am super locking that Toledo covers. I actually believe that they'll win on the road at the Fighting Illini because I'm just that big of a Quan Finn fan.
That's not good.
And then Illinois is Rico super locked to cover that 9.5 point spread.
Yeah, buddy.
As well. All right. Done. Cut the music. What's coming up on the show today?
I didn't cut the music.
Did you just stop
that timing?
Oh
Good
my
job,
gosh.
boys.
That was great.
I was like going to, and you like said it, and I was like, oh, let me, and it ended.
That's great.
Incredible.
All right, Austin, what's coming up on the show today?
Volleyball Day Nebraska recap, national reaction. Y'all were working. I was watching.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out pretty well for me.
How was the Big Ten intro thing? Did you hear our voices?
I did not.
Dang it.
Sorry.
I think it might be a different video.
Well, I'm sure it's out there.
I
I
spilled it.
Yeah.
Me and Rico are supposed to be on a video here by the Big Ten Network.
It
We don't
doesn't
know
matter.
where.
We don't need to. It's not a secret.
We'll see what we can find. And also volleyball saying it wants to set the standard for football.
Yeah.
I want to get into that. Opening weekend games to watch and pick. Hawkinson extension. Stricky and I haven't gone game by game yet for Nebraska football. So we'll do that at 3:00. Also give you our leading rusher, receiver, tackler, sacks leader, interception leader, and Uncle Kevin coming in for Thirsty Thursday at 3:30.
There it is, Uncle Kev. All right, that'll do it for us. Make sure you stick around on block with Strick and Austin is coming up next. My spaceman. We'll talk to you later. Have a great weekend, my spaceman, and everybody else. Well, it's not Friday. See, I told you I'd do it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Adios.
Jay Foreman here. Join us on Thursday, August 31st for our pregame show for Nebraska against Minnesota at the Warhorse Casino in Southwest Lincoln. We'll go from 4 p.m. to kickoff at 7 p.m. with the whole ticket crew. Make sure to drop by and see us at the casino.
Early Stone again, it's me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's effort. It's the entire dealership, sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. How does that compare to other Honda?
Only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How would you sleep if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Gana Trucking is hiring CF Class A and B driver. Trucking guarantees a 40-hour year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gana Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gana Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GanaTrucking.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by